it's just fascinating to me because I have a 5-year-old at home and a 1-year-old at home, and we don't want anything to do with like the centralized school system, so to speak.
Yeah, well, it's about to go away. So,
well, excellent. Tell me more about that. Like the Apogee model that you've got is endlessly fascinating, and I'm a huge proponent of this.
Yeah, so Matt Boudreau, who is president, CEO of Running It, my partner, he and I, he was running Socratic schools, giant Socratic schools, and had come from public education, where he recognized that he could not have the positive impact that was necessary to save these people in these young minds. He couldn't build critical thinkers. He had to teach the curriculum. He had to teach to a test. He had to teach to a state standardized form of memorization. And he's like, okay, that's not going to work. So went to the Socratic model, launched these gigantic campuses that ended up being a couple of the largest Socratic campuses in the United States. But he still recognized that there were some really important elements that were missing. And that was the full family approach to education. Like, nobody is responsible for your 5-year-old besides you. Mm-hmm. Like, it is not the teacher's job to teach that young soul morality and ethics. That is your job. Mm-hmm. It is also not their job to educate them. Like, you are empowering them and giving them tools to educate elements, but ultimately it is you to approve how they're going to be educated, what they're going to know, how they're going to be collaborators. And this is where Matt and I just like freaking landed together. Have you seen the videos of like high schools in the 60s and 70s working out
outside in the gyms, doing the monkey bars and stuff?
And they're all wearing different color shorts because they're different level of fitnesses. Not everybody got the same PT uniform because
not everybody got a participation trophy.
That's right. Yeah. And they desperately wanted to be able to do that max number of pull-ups. They desperately wanted to run that 6-minute mile. They desperately, because it gave them position.
Yeah, status.
And that for good reason pecking order of who is the fittest. And then if I wasn't, I'm aspiring to be able to beat that person. And, throughout history, when you look at Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, George Foreman, every one of these epic fighters or athletes, there was always a rival that they could just push themselves to. And when you take that rivalry out, when you take that competition out, you really deprive somebody from their potential. So by no means are we like in curriculum directly creating competition, but it is a very healthy byproduct of a healthy culture of a group of people that are wanting to push each other to be better. And that's the vibe of these campuses. They're young, they're vibrant, they're full of life and energy. You hear screams of laughter and joy. There's half the campuses are being run in CrossFit gyms, in jiu-jitsu gyms, like in the gym. Like they got jiu-jitsu in the morning, and then they got kid class from 10 to noon, and then they have jiu-jitsu class from noon to 1, and the kids are back in there from 1 until 3 when school is over, and they've done jiu-jitsu one time at least, or they've done CrossFit, and the school is occurring in this space designed for fitness. It's so freaking awesome.
Oh, it's incredible, dude.
Yeah.
Who's that for? Like kids and parents? Who's the kind of person that you hope this becomes attractive for, but who's it attract right now? What kind of clientele, as it were?
Yeah, it's a full family. So usually it'll be like one or two, like a father and a son, a father maybe recognizing that there's elements of him being a father that are absent, and he's searching for other resources to be a better father. Like, how beautiful is that, right? Yeah. And then he brings his son with him, and then he's like, wow, this is cool. And then like the full family comes in, and then they start their own school, or now that we have a women's program, we have women that are going through the mentorship program, and like they're like 70-something% of all divorces start with the woman. And they're recognizing that they have a responsibility and where they had been failing, and then they look at their husbands and they start showing them the respect and admiration and appreciation that the husband has so desperately been craving. And the husband's like, dude, what's going on right here? And then he starts realizing all the ways that he hasn't been selfless to her. And then he gets on the mentorship program, and then bam, the whole family's in it.
Okay.
And then the kids are going to an Apogee, or they're starting their own school. And of our first 50 campuses, all of those campuses came from our mentorship program. So we kind of have like this online mentorship approach, which is obviously nationally. And then we have physical campuses, 50 of them in 2024, nearly 500 of them for 2025. And in light of last night's election, with school choice and school vouchers coming to be a reality, we'll have 3,000 or 4,000 schools in a couple of years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Nationwide?
Yeah.
Targeting every state?
Worldwide.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Let's go. What's the hope? You get these impressionable families, and in particular, it's obviously very kid-centric. What's the hope that when they come out of this thing, how are they transformed? Who are they in the world?
They're whatever they want to be. That's the most important thing. When you're going through this conveyor belt education system, everybody's coming out the same product. Like, they are future tax mules. Like, they are consumers. They want the girls to be mothers later and to have to work so they can pay taxes. They want the men to go take a job in middle class and work and pay taxes. So then they have two forms of tax revenue from two lemmings that have no critical thinking, no natural entrepreneurial abilities, no understanding of real communication or collaboration. So, like, to build something, very, very difficult for them to break what they've been indoctrinated in for the past 14 years. From the Apogee side, we want creators. We want critical thinkers. We want people that are going to look at a problem asymmetrically and be like, here's 9 different ways that we can fix this. I promise you can take one of our middle schoolers and put them up against any MBA in any MBA test, and our middle schoolers will crush them. There's all these like dumb, have you seen like the spaghetti and tape experiments? Never going to beat one of our kids. Never going to beat them. Like any one of those things, our kids will just dunk on everybody. And I'm talking like 11, 12-year-olds. We have in our campus here in Austin, 50 something kids. We have 30 kids, and this is elementary school, that have their own businesses. They have launched, created product, took it to market, advertised it, and are running profitable businesses. And they're 9, they're 10 years old. Like, it's just madness. Yeah. So to answer your question, what do I want? I want somebody that can determine their own destiny, that's in line with their passions, can live free and sovereign, and with joy and passion for life.
Heck yeah.
Like, you tell me where that exists in public education.
It wasn't my experience.
Nor mine.
No. That's why.
Thankfully, I didn't have any.
That's why we got probably in endless trouble, and I'm sure you did too. You take a little bit of anti-authoritarianism and a non-stimulating syllabus, and you've got a recipe for creating some rambunctious little boys over here.
Yeah.
Hey, before you go anywhere, listen up. I've got a special announcement. Mark your calendars for this one. November 22nd, Heart and Soil is dropping a new documentary called Fed a Lie. This is going to be the documentary on seed oils. The end, the nail in the coffin. Expect to hear from experts like Dr. Paul Saladino, Nina Teicholz, Dr. Chris Kenobi, even superstars like Bethany Hamilton, as we gathered the big dogs to put an end to the seed oil madness. If you want to check that out, go to Heart and Soil's YouTube, subscribe, and go to fedalie.film. Plug in your details, and we will make sure you get the link as soon as that goes live so you can spread it far and wide. This will be an incredible conversation starter at the family table over the holidays, and it will be you helping us to spread this message of radical health and be a part of the healthy revolution. And as always, thank you for being here. If you like the show, please like it, subscribe it, and share it. Help us to spread this message of radical health. And we'll see you next week. Big love.